Hello everyone, my name is Omar Miho, and today I will be sharing my personal philosophy of education. This presentation reflects my beliefs, values, and how I plan to implement these principles in a classroom setting. To introduce myself briefly, I'm a passionate educator, creativity advocate, and a workshop trainer at American Corner Beirut. With a year of teaching experience at CIS, I've dedicated my career to fostering inspiring learning environments that encourage growth and exploration. In my role as an educator, I strive to create dynamic and inclusive learning environments where students feel empowered to explore their potential. The purpose of this presentation is to articulate my personal philosophy of education, discussing its foundations and practical application. The purpose of education. I personally believe that the purpose of education goes beyond academic success. It's about empowering individuals with the critical thinking, creativity, and the ability to adapt in an ever changing world. Education fosters social responsibility, lifelong learning, and personal growth. And my philosophy, of course, aligns with John, who saw education as an experiential process.
There are only a few ideas that had as much of an impact on education as those of John Dewey. Dewey championed learning by doing, also known as experiential learning. He observed that children learn better when they are actively engaged because they are immersed in the present and not a distant future, such as final exams. The discussions prepare the students for life in a democratic society where decisions ought to be based on reasonable arguments. Through the debates, the children learn to formulate their own ideas, convince others, and learn to see the world from a different point of view. Classes are interactive because Dewey believes that interaction with the environment is essential for the learning process, since education is an experience that is subject to constant change. Passive recipients of knowledge, on the other hand, learn very little, if anything at all. Learning is interdisciplinary. Dewey believed that continuity is critical to comprehension and that an interdisciplinary education allows students to build on what they already know, which strengthens their understanding.
And Paulo, who emphasized the importance of dialogue and critical thinking.
Freire was born in 1921 in Recife, Brazil. His ideas about the role of education in political freedom eventually became some of the most significant contributions to what's now known as critical pedagogy.
Teachers and students play complementary roles in the learning process. Teachers act as facilitators, creating a safe, inclusive environment where curiosity thrives. On the other hand, students are active participants, engaging critically and collaborating to shape their learning journey. This dynamic fosters mutual growth and discovery.
But what about the students? We have set time organization, motivation, responsibility, proactivity, and active communication.
Moving on to some of the factors, I believe that social, cultural, and emotional factors significantly influence education. Recognizing diverse cultural backgrounds is vital for equity, while addressing emotional needs fosters resilience and empathy. I personally aim to create a classroom that integrates emotional intelligence and celebrates cultural diversity through culturally responsive teaching.
What are people's emotions about in this space. If the emotions, because whatever those emotions are about, that is what you're learning about. So if the emotions are about the outcomes, did I get it right? Am I going to flunk? Did I get an A plus? I'm so smart. I'm so stupid. Any one of those, right? If those are the main drivers, then that is what you're learning about. If the emotions are about the actual ideas in play, the math, the physics, the why does the ball roll down the ramp? Wait a minute, that's the same as why the moon goes around. You know what I mean? Like there are, right? When the emotions are about ideas, then what you're engaging with is learning about ideas.
In my classroom, I envision using project-based learning to apply theoretical knowledge to real-world scenarios. Technology will also play a key role in making lessons engaging and accessible. I'll encourage student-led activities promoting critical thinking and collaboration. These strategies will ensure that every student feels valued and empowered to learn. Reflecting on oneself is a must in order to get improved, and I personally believe that as I grow as an educator, I recognize that my philosophy will evolve. Experience and ongoing reflection will allow me to adapt to new challenges and refine my approach. The core values of empowerment, curiosity, and equity will remain central to my teaching.
The ability for kids to be able to wiggle and move and to have that expectation that, kids can be kids and still achieve great things. I think our learning space really supports that.
To sum up, I view education as a tool for empowerment and growth. Teachers are guides who inspire and support, while students are active learners shaping their journey. By focusing on inclusion, emotional intelligence, and adaptability, I aim to create a meaningful educational experience. As Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change the world. Thank you all for taking the time to engage with my presentation today. I truly appreciate your attention and interest in my philosophy of education and teaching practices. It's always a privilege to share ideas and learn from such a thoughtful audience. I hope, the insights I've shared will spark further conversations and inspire new approaches in education. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or would you like to discuss these topics further. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any future content.